Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Zombie in case you haven't met me yet, and it has been quite some time since I've posted. Life happened. I moved out of state again. I joined a new roller derby league again. I'm building a house, just a lot of stuff just started happening all at once. So because of that, I haven't been able to post and I haven't been able to really do anything roller derby related. I started back up with roller derby maybe about a month ago. So now that things are getting kicked off and some roller derby leagues are capable of opening back up their practices according to the CDC guidelines, we also have to follow WFDA guidelines with my new league. So we're meeting both criteria to open up again where I'm at, and I'm very fortunate about that. But because of that, I realized I have not maintained my skates in like 2 years, if not more. So I know somebody had asked if I can post a video about how to clean bearings, and this was like 6 months ago, and I apologize that this is taking so long, but I promised them that I would do so. So I decided to go to the park today because the weather was nice and clean my bearings. So before we get started, I just want to preface this with the fact that I know some people may or may not agree with, roller derby starting back up, and that's, everybody else's opinion. I just want to say though, and I just want to reiterate the fact that I don't represent a single league. I represent myself only. And whether a league decides to start up or not, following those guidelines is up to them. Mine is fortunate enough to be following CDC and WFDA guidelines like to a T, which is awesome. And I think as much as roller derby should stay roller derby, I would like to try to keep my page on the non-political side. So if you have political comments regarding it, just keep them to yourselves, please. Roller derby is very much a therapy for a lot of people, and I believe that with the COVID, we've kind of neglected mental health and mental illness that comes along with being, isolated and, not doing the things that you love to do. So anyways, in saying that, some people like to roller skate, and even if they're doing it in an isolated way, we still need to maintain our skates. So I hope this video helps a lot of you, especially you beginners that have just started roller skating because of the pandemic, and I hope this helps. Okay, so of course, obviously, you need your skates. So you can take the bearings out of the wheels. Use a Tupperware that you are not going to put food in ever again, because if you use acetone in here, then you're going to poison your food. So of course coffee, because coffee. Okay, so this is the lube I have. It's not one I highly recommend. That's all I had though. So if you're gonna use bicycle chain lube, make sure it's the dry one and it's silicone based. Obviously, we're gonna start by taking our wheels off with our T-tool, so we can get to the 2 bearings on the wheels. God, guys, look how grody my wheels are. Look at that. My bearings are green, by the way. Somewhere along the line, I lost my bearing puller, so in order to get the bearings out of these wheels, you can actually use your axle. I don't recommend it to be used like this all the time, because you could actually bend the axle after, quite a while. But if it's all you've got for the time being, then that's all you've got. But I do recommend buying a bearing puller. So what you do, you just kind of get the bearing in the axle a little bit. You put pressure on the edges, kind of back and forth, and you should be able to pull out that bearing. It could take a few tries. There we go. It's popped out. So that's the outside of my bearing. That's the side that shows on the outside, and this is the inside. So it should look like this. And then just repeat for all the other wheels. Forgot, if your T-tool fits in and you get one bearing out, you could always push the other bearing out using your T-tool. Just kind of push down and pop it out. Ta-da! You get all these bearings out, you'll find that there's a little plastic on the outside called shields. I typically take these off with like a Cricut tool, the ones that look like a dental tool, but I forgot mine. So I grabbed an earring that was long lost in my car forever, so I'll just be taking those out with this earring. You just kind of slide it under, and I usually go from center out. So slide it under and then it should just pop right off. I'm going to try to get it in action here. You just kind of apply pressure and then pull out from under, poop, and it pops right out. You should have shields for both sides of each bearing. If not, it's okay. Sometimes they do fall out. No biggie. But you do want to try to protect those balls inside. So after all these shields are removed, I usually just put these directly in here so I don't lose any of my bearings, because that's how we'll be cleaning them later anyways. I'll show you this bearing. Look how disgusting that is. Again, I haven't cleaned these in 2 years. I haven't done bearing cleaning in about 2 years. Ew. I mean, this one's a bit better. You can at least see what's inside, but this just looks like a dirty sink drain or something. I don't know, but gross. Alrighty, so you should have 16 bearings, and before I add acetone, I always just double check and make sure I got all the shields off, because I get distracted. Oh, nope, found one. Hold on, I need to get this one off. Back in we go. Okay, so what you want to use your acetone. I got this one on Walgreens. And you just kind of pour some in. Remember, this Tupperware, you do not want to eat out of it again. I don't want to, have somebody wash it, eat out of it, and poison themselves. So anyways, now that we have those in, you want to put your lid back in. Just going to whoop. Hold on, I didn't close it right. This is why we use towels. Anyways, now that it's closed correctly, just want to give them a good shake for quite some time. And you can already tell how dirty it's getting. All that gross. Oh, look how gross that is. If you want, you could always do a second rinse. I'm not going to do a second rinse because I have nowhere to dump this acetone since I'm at the park. I don't want to, hurt the environment or anything. I need to dispose of it properly. Anyways, once those are done, what I typically do is have 2 face towels, again, that I am not going to use on my face after this. I'm a little bit of a chemical, cross-contamination buff. I don't want to use these on my face anymore. So they're a specific color. Mine are blue. I like to use 2, and then I like to use like a little bobby pin or something to kind of fish these out. I don't want to use my hands too much to handle acetone. Oops. Because acetone can actually leach in and get absorbed by your skin, and over a long period of time, long exposure times, it can actually injure your liver. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I should be wearing gloves. I could not find gloves to save my life. Nitrile gloves will not work with this. I don't believe anyways. I believe you're supposed to be using rubber gloves. I'll have to double check. I'll put it in my comments just to double check, because I don't want anybody getting injuries. And especially if you get your nails done all the time, you use acetone all the time, the less exposure the better. So yeah, so I'm just gonna finish fishing these out real quick. Okay, I'm gonna seal this because, like I said, I don't have anywhere to dispose of this. And now that I have these laid out, I'm gonna get my second towel and just go right over it, just right on top. And we're just gonna let them dry out for a little bit. Drying. We're gonna take a look at our nuts really quick. These are what keep your wheels on. As you can tell, mine are as dirty as you know what. So I don't necessarily know if you can use acetone on these or not. I want to see why not. However, because I don't want to risk it, I'd rather just wipe them down with a towel. It's just dust, and there's no moving parts in it. So because it's not necessarily like machinery, I guess is the best term to use. You can just wipe those down with a towel. Same thing with your axles. If your axles are dirty, this is the time to clean them. Sometimes hair gets wrapped around in those. If you've seen my wheel removal and cleaning video from several months ago, you'll know that I used to have a lot of long hair, and it used to get wrapped up in here because I'd skate inside all the time. So this is the time to clean those while your bearings are drying. Also, it's probably worth cleaning these also while your bearings are drying really quick, because it kind of defeats the purpose to put dirty shields after you've just cleaned bearings. So while that's happening, I just remembered and realized that we do have skaters that have just started skating. Let me see if I can get this in focus. Before you put shields back on, just remember these have writing on it. When you put these back on, you want to make sure the writing is on the outside. There we go. Every shield should have writing on the outside. If the writing's smudged off for any reason, usually you could tell that the inside of it kind of has like a lip, kind of like it's supposed to look like a lid to something. That should go on the inside. So when you put them back on the bearings, the writing should be on the outside and the lip should be facing inward. Okay, so now our bearings are dry. I like to line them up in 4s. 1 line per wheel essentially is what I do, because I want to make sure I'm not going to miss this step, because it can be a little bit dangerous if you do miss this step, because your bearings could blow out from under you and the balls can explode everywhere. 1, making your wheel quit on you and tripping you up, but 2, all these little balls will be on the floor, and now you have tripping hazards for yourself and any of your friends or teammates. Sorry. This is a lube I had available to me. I don't particularly like the bicycle chain lube, but if you do have the bicycle chain lube, or that's all you have access to, it's okay as long as it's the dry version, because anything else will kind of attract dust and stuff like that. But if you look at it really close, some of it's kind of on the bottom, so make sure you give it a good shake before you use it. Okay, because I haven't used this lube in a long time, I just kind of want to give it a test run before I actually put it on my bearing, because I only want a couple drops on, so I don't want to like have it spill. So it looks like it's not gonna like pour out of here. So for each bearing, you just want to do like 1 or 2 drops. 1, 2. Okay. After that, you just want to kind of give it a good spin. See, you have like an inner round circle and an outer round circle. Grab the inner round circle and then start spinning the outer circle so that everything's lubricating. If it still kind of feels too dry or it's not really spinning, there you go. So now it's starting to spin. You could always add 1 more drop, which is what I'm going to do because it's still kind of struggling. A little bit on the struggle bus, but that's okay. Let me just spin it. There we go. Now you have a good spin. That's how you know it's lubricated. You're going to do that for every bearing that you have. Once that's done, you can take your little shield, make sure the writing's on the outside. Just place it back on, push down. You should hear like a little, or feel like a little popping noise, and that means it's on. And you just flip it over, grab another shield, pop it on. Once again, before placing back in your wheels, check that out. That's so dirty. So just give it a quick wipe down. You just could use a towel, no biggie. Nothing fancy. And either with your bearing pulling tool or your T-tool, like I said, I only have a T-tool available. Just put it in, whoops, just put it in here. It doesn't matter which side it's facing out. Put it in there as evenly as possible. Put pressure. And pop, it should just go right in. Flip your wheel over. Sorry, I got distracted by dogs. Anyways, flip this one over. I kind of give it a little bit push before I use my tool. Pop, it goes right in. And there you have it. Our bearings are changed. And what I like to do is just kind of give it a little bit of a spin test. So I put the wheel back on. Get my newly cleaned nut back on. Give it a quick several turns just to make sure the wheel's on. Give it a quick spin for a spin test. Ooh, and it's going and going and going. There we go, awesome. So that took a while to finish spinning. So just remember, when you start skating again, you're gonna have to use a lot more of your edges to help you stop, and because you're gonna go a little bit faster than what you were with your dirty bearings. I'm probably gonna eat asphalt next time I skate, because like I said, it's been 2 years since I've cleaned these bearings, so I'm used to the friction that they've been creating. So now I'll probably be able to skate faster, but now I'm not used to skating very fast. It's going to be a little bit of an adjustment. So just make sure you're adjusting slowly, get used to your wheels again, and then be on your way. Alrighty, y'all, so that's how we clean our bearings, get our skates ready for skating again. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Just remember, it does take a while to get these done. It is time consuming a little bit, so make some time out for it. If you're skating indoors, on surfaces that aren't cleaned very often, or staticky surfaces like sport court, you're probably going to have to clean these a little bit more often. If you're on wood flooring, probably not as often, as long as it's getting swept, but definitely if you're outside, you're going to have to clean these pretty often. So anyways, yeah, I hope this helped. Hopefully I'll see you guys a little bit more often, and we'll see you soon.